So I'm here now with Mickey Wiles, who is the founder and CEO of a unique staffing agency called Working Fields. Thank you for being with us, Mickey.
Sure, glad to be here.
Great. So please tell us about what Working Fields is and what you do.
All right. Well, Working Fields is a mission-driven staffing agency, and we work with individuals in recovery from substance use addiction and individuals with past convictions to help them with returning to the workforce or getting back into the workforce, and most importantly, supporting them in their recovery through a technique of recovery coaching.
Okay, so there probably aren't too many other agencies who do anything similar.
No, there aren't. There's a lot of staffing agencies, but most of the staffing agencies are will not work with individuals who have convictions for 3 to 7 years, depending on the agency, and also depending on the severity of the crime. But even more important than that is that, a staffing agency really is really looking to support its client, the employer, which we are too, but that's really all they're looking to support. And when they place somebody into a job, they're just looking at what their skill set is, what their resume looks like, and then matches them with a job. And they do a fine job. I mean, they're providing employees that meet those needs. What we're doing is really one step further than that. We're meeting both the need of the employer that need employees, that need workers, but we're also placing individuals who come to us through recovery centers, treatment centers, sober homes, social service agencies, probation and parole, and be referred to us from several different agencies. And the agencies have the case manage these people, and they recognize that they are having barriers to getting jobs due to their background and or because they're early in recovery. And what we're able to do is to bring them in, spend time with them to really get a good understanding of where they are in their recovery, how far they've gone down that path, what their level of stability is. And then we have over 40 employers that we work with on a regular basis that we can match individuals to give them, to provide the best opportunity for them, the best chance of success. And then when we place them on assignment, we provide a recovery coach. And when we provide that recovery coach, what that recovery coach is doing is working with the individual minimally on a weekly basis to provide them support on all aspects of the recovery, to really help them in whatever way they need. And really what recovery coaching is motivational interviewing and resource connection. They're generally individuals who are in recovery themselves, and so it's peer-to-peer support. And they've been trained through the Vermont Recovery Academy, and they are able to help them in finding, really, developing goals and helping them find the right path and determine what their priorities are, what they really need to focus on, and then help connect them to the right resources and then support them on a weekly basis.
How long do the recovery coaches usually work with folks?
Yeah, so if somebody comes with us and stays with us, because some people leave for various reasons. I mean, it could be because they're with us for a couple months and they find another opportunity, or or they decide that they're not really ready for our program, so sometimes they'll move on. But if they stay with us, stick with it, then they'll be with us a minimum of 5 months. And I say a minimum of 5 months because if they get placed with one employer, the employer has a contract with us that they will work with us for a 5-month period before they would be converted to become an employee of the employer. And what that does, it gives us a good amount of time to work with somebody on a weekly basis and really help them get their recovery going and give them that support. Now, many times somebody might work for us in one employer and for whatever reason move on to another employer, or the employer may be just a temporary job, or it may be that things didn't work out with that first employer and there's a better match at another employer. And generally, if that's the case, then the individual is going to be with us for more than 5 months. And generally, it's because they probably need to be with us for more than 5 months. So that means we could work with somebody. We've worked with people for up to a year before they've moved on. So it varies.
And how would you describe your success for both employers and employees? Has it been successful?
Yes, on a couple different levels, and those are two different questions in my mind. From an employer perspective, it's meeting the needs of employer by giving them employees when they need employees. Historically, hiring is a difficult thing to do. Employers will tell you, every HR person will tell you that it's an art and not a science, and that finding good people, the interview process is by nature a flawed process, and it's difficult to hire people. So all I know is that when the companies we work with tell us that we perform as well or better than the staffing agencies that we're competing against, then I know we're doing a pretty good job. So we're meeting the needs of the employers. In terms of the associates, and that's what we refer to the individuals that work with us, I say that our success rate is 100%. And the reason why I say it's 100% is if they come and work with us for a week, and they just spend that time going through our process, our initial screening process. We do an in-depth survey up front. We talk to them about the job. So we interact with them several times in that first week. And during that whole time, we're using the language of recovery. We're talking to them about what success looks like. And maybe they're not ready at that point, but they have had the seed planted. And by having any opportunity to work with our staff, our account managers and our recovery coaches is positive. It's a good thing. And if they're here for 2 months and they get 2 months worth of our services, then they're benefiting from that. If they're here for 5 months and convert over to become an employee of the company that we place them with, well, you know, that's fantastic. You know, that they've really gotten a lot of benefit, and everybody is happy. So, you know, I just feel like that from some regards, you know, we're a staffing agency. We operate as a staffing agency, as a business, but we are really a sheep in wolf's clothing, because we're a social service agency that's providing a much needed service to people that are in early recovery and or have convictions.
It really is a great service. I know from my work at the nonprofit that I run, Vermont Interfaith Action, that two of the biggest barriers to people coming out of incarceration is job placement and housing. And
Right.
And that's, you know, they really need, you know, folks just need a little support in order to get a true second chance.
Yes. Yeah. And it's really, we see several barriers, but you're right. Those two are the biggest barriers, along with transportation. Transportation in a rural state like Vermont is also a huge barrier. And we work with solutions on that as well. So we're always looking for solutions to be able to get people to their jobs and make them successful. So, and another important aspect of our working fields is that everybody that works here is in long-term recovery themselves. And that really goes a long ways when we're meeting and working with individuals. When we sit down across the table from them for the first time, and we tell them what we do and who we are, and we say, by the way, we were sitting in your seat at one point in our life, it means a lot, and it allows them the ability to be more at ease and to open up with us, and we begin to build trust. And really, that's an important component of what we do, is building trust with individuals who sometimes have come out of systems where, you know, they've just, nobody's really trusted them. You know, they have struggles and battles, and we are able to, you know, help break that down somewhat.
Great. Well, thank you so much for telling us about it, Mickey, and for what you do. It really is a very valuable part of our community. Thank you.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Alrighty.